If you're anything like me, you're ambitious and you like to write down new goals every year, but sometimes you don't accomplish them. Actually, maybe you don't ever accomplish them. It's frustrating, I know, but we keep doing it year after year. And heck, you're probably here watching this video for ideas on how to get a fresh start for next year. What if we've been doing it wrong this whole time? Are the goals that we're setting too big? Are we being overly optimistic? And what if we've been relying on our future self to pick up the slack? In this video, I'd like to give you a fresh perspective on accomplishing goals so you can actually feel like you achieved something. Let's start with this fascinating study that I came across, which I'm sure will blow your mind like it did mine. It's called Anticipated Temporal Landmarks Undermine Motivation for Continued Goal Pursuit by Science Direct. Temporal landmarks, especially those that signal new beginnings, have been shown to spur goal initiation. Basically, are you starting your goals? We draw attention to a dark side of temporal landmarks by examining the effects of anticipated temporal landmarks on motivation to persist in an ongoing goal. Basically, are you continuing to do the goal and do the things to reach the goal, or are you losing motivation? I had to hit pause on this and actually go Google what is a temporal landmark. I know, maybe you already knew, but I didn't, so let's take a look. Temporal landmarks are distinct moments or events that stand out from regular routine events or activities of everyday life. These could include anniversaries or birthdays or start of a new job or the new year. These symbolic landmarks help our brain add structure to our memories and experiences. Now that we know what temporal landmarks are, let's continue. Across an archival study and 4 experiments, we find that when an upcoming temporal landmark becomes salient and signals a new beginning, individuals perceive their current and future selves as 2 separate agents, and optimistically believe that their future self will take care of that responsibility, which licenses them to exert less effort toward their ongoing goals in the current present moment. This makes total sense to me. As I'm reading this, I'm thinking to myself, when I create these new goals, when I'm writing down these goals, I'm getting excited for them. It almost allows my current self, before I start achieving these goals or taking the actions to achieve them, it gives myself almost like a hall pass to be like, okay, I'm going to be better then. I'm going to be better on January 1st. If I'm going to try to lose weight, I'll be better on January 1st because I'll have more motivation. It'll be this new year. It'll be a new me. Totally makes sense. So let's continue. However, individuals who reduce effort in an anticipation of the temporal landmark may not work harder to compensate for the lost progress after the landmark. So basically, once you hit that landmark, let's call it January 1st, and once you get to that landmark, if you haven't already started the process or started some daily process to get towards that goal, then your ability to continue once that landmark has passed is decreased. So this detrimental effect of anticipated temporal landmarks is mitigated when individuals are reminded of everyday activities consistently to meet their goal. Basically, are you doing something every day that's getting you on the path towards reaching that goal? This is going to be really important with some questions I've got later on and some concepts that I want to share with you, what's worked for me, and I think will work for you as well. At the beginning of a new year, many people have the best intention of setting resolutions to accomplish important goals. For example, Google searches for gyms, purchases of gym membership, and foot traffic to gyms spike in January every year. We all know this. Similar self-improvement behaviors also surge on the first day of the week, birthdays, the first day of a new season, and the first day of a new job or school. More broadly, on temporal landmarks that demarcate boundaries between temporal periods. So what this is saying is we always like to start things on Monday or the first day of the month or our birthdays that insigniate or demarcate this fresh start. And there's these periods between birthdays, 1 year, between every birthday is 1 year, weekly, monthly, quarterly. We like to put things into buckets, into these temporal periods, which makes sense. However, successful goal pursuit requires not only goal initiation, but also persistent effort investment. Meaning, are you starting to do the thing, and are you continuing to do the thing? Beyond the exciting initiation of new goals, it is critical to understand how motivation to persist in ongoing goal pursuits changes over time, especially when people are anticipating temporal landmarks. So basically the anticipation of this day, like January 1st coming up, how does that impact our goal accomplishments? After reading this study, I had an epiphany, honestly. What if I stopped focusing on the goal itself, like losing 10 pounds or making X number of dollars, and solely focused on the persistent effort it takes to achieve that goal? Could I achieve a goal where I didn't measure the progress of a specific outcome? Basically, could I achieve my goal by tracking the daily process required to hit the goal and not the goal itself? For example, could I lose weight by walking 3 miles every day and not use my daily weight as a measure of progress? Rather, I would keep track of whether or not I walked 3 miles every day. It worked. Actually, over 30 days or so, I had walked up every day for 3 miles and kept track of it using my Apple Watch. I would weigh myself just randomly throughout the weeks and months, or the week and the 30 days. And I wouldn't keep track of the weight, but rather I would keep track of whether or not I did that walk that day. Lo and behold, I ended up losing 5 pounds. And I didn't really change my diet or anything else. I just walked every day for about 30 days. And then what the funny side effect of that was I started to lose interest and desire for alcohol. So really my alcohol consumption basically went away as well, which I'm sure had something to do with weight loss as well. Here are 4 questions to ask yourself before attempting to reach any of your new goals. These are 4 questions that I've come up with after looking at this study and looking at how the effects of these temporal landmarks have on how we not only start our goals, but also how we maintain them and keep them going. Number 1, what would this look like if it were easy? What would it look like if it were fun? What is the first step that's required to hit this goal? And what process can I measure versus the goal progress? Meaning, instead of measuring how much pounds you've lost every day, can you measure how many miles you've walked? Did you reach that goal every day of walking 3 miles? And then measure the daily process and progress that comes without any daily reminder of how far you've got until you achieve your goal. So the reason why this is important is if you always see this goal, whether it's weight loss or amount of money you want to make or whatever your goal might be, if you're always looking at this end goal and you see that there's this big gap between where you are currently and where you want to be, it can be pretty defeating. And I think that's why a lot of people, especially myself, we don't continue doing these goals. But if you know that all you've got to do is do that next thing the next day, whether it's walking 3 miles or whether it's recording a YouTube video or whatever it is for your business or how you make money. If you can do those things every day and track those, not only will you see progress, you'll feel accomplished. And when you look back at things, you'll be like, wait a minute, I'm actually moving towards this bigger goal of making more money. So for example, make more money by starting a side hustle. What would this look like if it were easy? Well, find a product or a service that you know well. Maybe you're a handyman and you're really good with your hands and really good at fixing things around the house. Maybe you get some extra income by starting with TaskRabbit. You can apply for TaskRabbit and get paid for the jobs that you do. What would this look like if it were fun? Well, for me, I do enjoy handyman work, but I'd want to do the tasks that I enjoy and I'm good at. I wouldn't want to show up to someone's house and try to do something that I was somewhat questionable on. While I can do plumbing, I don't know if I'd want to do that, and it wouldn't be fun because I'm not good at it. So while there's a lot of things that I am good at, I would focus on those. What's the first step required to hit that goal? Well, it would be to create an account with TaskRabbit and set up all of the different tasks that you're able and willing to do. And what process can I measure daily? So this one is a little interesting for TaskRabbit. It might be responding to new inquiries for jobs, people that are looking at your profile might see that you're available for a certain rate, and then you can talk with them regarding their project. It could be creating YouTube content. Actually, the other day I saw, I think it was a YouTube short that came up with this guy that was putting together a big desk that somebody had purchased, maybe from IKEA or somewhere else. But he was in the Southern California area, and he showed the desk, didn't show himself. He just showed the desk and his tools, and the desk was almost all the way complete. And he was just saying over audio, he was just saying, if you're needing a desk to be put together or furniture or those kind of things, look at the link in my description for my TaskRabbit, and I'll help you out next week. I thought that was a great way to drive traffic from a free source to his TaskRabbit to get more business. The next example is losing weight. What would this look like if it were easy? Well, walking. Walking's fairly easy for most people. What would it look like if it were fun? For me, going outside, getting fresh air, hopefully it's not too cold or windy, but having a podcast or an audiobook to listen to, that's fun to me. What is the first step required to hit my goal? Well, it would just be to walk 3 miles today. Start with that. Walk 3 miles tomorrow. Walk 3 miles the next day. Just keep walking and keep doing that every day, tracking your progress, having a goal set for yourself. Maybe it's 3 weeks, maybe it's 12 weeks, whatever it is. Track your progress of walking 3 miles a day, and I can almost guarantee you that you will lose weight. The key to this is to start now. Start before that next temporal landmark of New Year's Day or your birthday or Monday. Start when you don't have any of the answers. The main point is to get started in the process, and that daily process will eventually turn into a habit. You will thank yourself, trust me. And you might even thank me by starting right after watching this video. Seriously, what's the one thing that you could start today that would help you get going towards your goals? One thing I've realized during the years of trying to accomplish these goals is that life is short and we need to embrace failure. I'd recommend watching this video next to help you embrace failure, which can unlock making more money and having more satisfying life. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping by and watching the video. Watch this one next.